It's not easy to predict how well a product will make on the market if that's the first time that you see that product. I'm about to react to a Dragon's Den episode where the founders present a totally new product for that time. And we're going to see the dragons kind of try and suss out if that product will actually be successful in the UK market and beyond. Let's have a look. And by the way, my name is Susie. I'm a finance director, an investor, and a business owner. And on this channel, I talk about all things business and finance through pop culture and storytelling. If this is the sort of stuff that you like as well, why not hit subscribe?
Hello, my name is Neil Westwood, and this is my wife, Laura. Today, we are seeking a £100,000 investment for 15% of Magic Whiteboard.
So that is a valuation of the company for £666,000, more or less. A reminder that the valuation is the market value of a company, and that sets the price of the shares.
Magic Whiteboard allows you to create a portable whiteboard from a roll anywhere in seconds. Each roll contains 25 perforated sheets. It's 20 meters in length. It sticks to any hard, flat surface. We have secured the sole and exclusive distribution and selling rights to Magic Whiteboard in the UK and Ireland.
So far, I think this is a great description of the product. It's really clear what it does. What I would have started with if I were this founder would have been a story of why they came up with this idea. What specific problem that they encounter on the market that they decided to resolve with this product. Instinctively, I can think about a couple. You know, you don't always want to buy an entire whiteboard just for maybe a brainstorming session with your team. It's really great for children as well, for their rooms. I guess it has many, many uses, but I would be interested in knowing what was the specific instance and light bulb moment that this founder had that compelled him to think about this product.
This year, we expect to have a turnover of £150,000. In year 3, our turnover will be £3 million, which will be a profit of £1.4 million.
Wow, that's quite a jump from £150,000 this year to £3 million next year. That is quite a bit of a jump. With a predicted revenue of £3 million and a net profit of 1.4, that means that the profit margin is 46%. That is massive. That is a massive profit margin. So remember that the profit margin is the percentage of income that is left after you deduct all of the expenses.
Why would I use this?
Well, if you're a trainer, if you do any group work.
Well, I have a whiteboard.
In my job, I haven't always been to the venue that I'm going to train in before I get there. So I don't know what facilities are going to be there. All I now need to carry is that. Whereas before, I might have taken a big flip chart stand, I might have taken a big flip chart pad.
Peter's question is connected to what I said before. So we don't exactly know what kind of problem it resolves. So if you haven't encountered a situation where you would need this product, you wouldn't necessarily know why you would need to buy it. If I were one of the dragons, I would ask a question about the risk of it being imitated. Have they patented it yet? Do they own the rights to it? What's the situation there, and how easy it is to replicate by a potential competitor?
Unambiguous out from Peter Jones, and a massive blow for the couple.
Assuming that I gave you £100,000,
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
We want to invest in a sales team.
Sales team, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to
Yes.
employ a salesman.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they should have been prepared for this question. Of course, any investor would need to know exactly how their money is spent. So of course, just saying I need a sales team isn't quite enough of an explanation, especially if you're asking for £100,000. So a strategy and a detailed breakdown of how that would be spent and what that would bring to the team would be really important. By the way that they're presenting the product, I can guess that they are the technicians. So they are the people that think about the technicalities and the mechanics of the product, but they're not great storytellers. They haven't really exercised that muscle of talking about the business in a way that makes it really appealing to other people. And that is the main job of salespeople. So selling, more often than not, is storytelling. So you need to understand the right angle and use the right messaging to really get your point across. So surely, like, having a sales team would help them. However, I understand that, investors of this level might want a little bit more detail around what the strategy is and what the plan is.
We need to have everything in place to be able to cope with the increased orders that we're going to get. Because at the moment, the orders come in, and I am the distribution network at the moment. So I go every day to the post office.
So what I would have said is we need the investment to grow the capacity and to scale the business, essentially. So that means having a logistics team that can take care of the orders, as well as a sales team. The investment has more to do with the overall scalability and capacity of the entire team rather than just the sales.
What does it cost you for one of those?
It costs us £7 a roll.
What are you selling for?
We sell them for $29.99 retail.
That is a gross margin, a gross profit margin of 76%, which is massive. It is massive, especially for a product-based business. That means that the cost of producing one roll is so much smaller than what they are able to sell it on the market for. So that could be potentially very appealing to the dragons now that they know this information.
I'm worried that the total market's too small. That's my only concern.
The product itself is currently selling over 200,000 rolls in Japan. People use it in nurseries for drawing on. People are using it to block out windows in some flats.
It's very difficult to gauge the market of a product that you've never seen before. So it's really fantastic that the owners were able to come prepared to answer that question with providing information about what happens in another country for that same market.
Is it protected? Is he the only person, whoever you're getting this from, are they the only person who can produce this?
There's a granted European patent on the product.
Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that touches on what I said before about whether this could be, something that other competitors could just pick up and start selling. And it sounds like they wouldn't. So that puts them in an excellent position. That means that they have basically cut out any competitor for that specific product. Of course, other competitors are, the flip charts and the whiteboards and any other, board that you could buy. But for this specific product of just like having a whiteboard that you can roll out and stick on the wall without having to use any glue or whatever, or tape, they would be the only people that could, produce it and buy it. So amazing. I bet that this sounds a hell of a lot more interesting than the very beginning.
I'm going to offer you £50,000. That's half the money you've asked for 20% of the company.
Oh, all right. So he's offering half of the money for 5% more of the shares. So not a fantastic deal, especially if the founders really believe that there's such a massive potential for the product. I don't think that this is such a fantastic deal because they would get half the money for more shares. So not great. Let's see what the other dragons offer.
So I am going to make you an offer.
Okay.
And it'll be for £50,000 for 20% of the business.
I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to put £25,000 in for 10%.
I too will make you an offer for the whole sum of £100,000 for 40%.
40%. That's almost half.
There is some added benefits having Deborah as part of the team. So I'm going to say to you, if I go down to 20% for 50,000 and Deborah has the other 20% for 50,000, I think you have got a fantastic result.
I mean, maybe with having two dragons in exchange for giving 40% of the company, well, maybe, but you would really need to count on the company being really, really, really big to really reap the benefits in the years to come, because that's almost half of the company. So for it to be a good decision, you would need to own less of a much, much, much bigger company. So let's see.
Well, I think we've made a decision, and we'd like to accept your offer.
Well, Deborah. Yep.
Good. I'm happy for them. I think they're on to something really big. Actually, this episode seems quite old. Let's have a quick look and see if this company was successful. Hang on. Guys, look at this. They're still standing, and apparently they're doing super well. So they were on Dragon's Den in 2008. And yeah, so this, thing goes up to 2018, but it sounds like, look at that growth. Exporting to over 20 countries, largest market in the UK. That is amazing. Look at that. Look at that. It sounds like they're doing just fine, you guys. I'm very, very happy for them. Very happy for them. Sounds like also they have diversified their offer and their products. Very cool. Very cool. Good for them. So I do believe that there's two things here that made the Dragons make their offers. The first thing was the exclusivity of the sales. They were the only company allowed to make and sell that product. And then having information about what the market was in Japan for this product really made it a really interesting bet. Now, I don't think that the Dragons were necessarily super confident about the success because they asked for so much more of the company than what the founders had offered at the beginning, but still they seem to have the right intuition about them. And there you have it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit subscribe. I'd love to have you. And why not watch all my other Dragon Dens reactions right over here, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.